Most people will end 2026 in the exact same place financially that they started. Same bank balance, same stress, same I'll figure it out next year. Today, I want to give you the full preview of why this 12-part series is going to be different and how to actually use it. My name is Isaac Ward, and over the next 12 videos, I'm walking you through the WBG Financial Mastery 2026 Blueprint. This is the same 8-week system we use with private clients to take someone from financial anxiety to a written, working financial plan in 90 days. Let me set expectations clearly. This is not a get-rich-quick channel. There are no crypto picks, no day trading hot takes, no $5,000 masterminds at the end. What you're getting instead is the actual structure. 12 short videos, each one breaks down one piece of the blueprint. By the end, you will know exactly what it takes to install a real financial system in your life, whether you do it on your own from these videos or join the full course. Here's how the series is organized. Parts 2 and 3 set the stage, why 2026 is different, and a 60-second tour of the entire course. Parts 4 and 5 tell you who this is for and exactly what's inside. Part 6 shows you the 4 measurable outcomes you should expect by day 90. Part 7, 8, and 9 give you the framework, the 8-week curriculum, and the 90-day roadmap. Part 10 condenses the entire 2026 blueprint into a single page. Part 11 breaks down the bonuses and the certificate. And Part 12 hands you your next move. Here's how to get the most out of this series. 1, follow the account so the algorithm actually shows you the next part. 2, every video ends with a question. Answer it in the comments. The reason is simple. The act of typing your answer makes it stick. 3, save the videos to a private collection on your phone so you can rewatch them when you sit down to do the work. Last thing, most financial content online is designed to entertain you, so you keep scrolling. This series is designed to change your numbers. So before we start, I want a small commitment from you in the comments. Comment a 1 if you want to install a real money system this year. Comment a 2 if you're just here to watch and see what you learn. Both are fine, but be honest with yourself because the people who type 1 are statistically twice as likely to actually finish. Type your answer below and let's begin. One more thing before you scroll. If at any point in this series you find yourself nodding, that is your brain telling you it already knows the next move. Write it down before the moment passes. The single biggest predictor of whether you change your finances this year is whether you write down your first action within 10 minutes of deciding to take it. Pen, notes app, comment box, doesn't matter. Just capture it. See you in part 2. 6 in 10 Americans are heading into 2026 living paycheck to paycheck. Household debt just hit a record high. Credit card balances crossed $1 trillion. And yet most of the financial advice you see online is still recycled from 2014. Get a budget, cut your lattes, max out your 401k. You'll be fine. That advice isn't wrong. It's just incomplete for the world we're actually living in now. So in this video, I want to lay out why 2026 is genuinely different and what that means for the system you build this year. 3 structural shifts have changed the playing field. First, inflation. Even with the headline number cooling, the cost of the basics, housing, groceries, insurance, childcare, is still meaningfully higher than it was 3 years ago. That means the same income now produces a smaller margin for saving. If your budget hasn't been recalibrated since 2022, it is silently bleeding money. Second, interest rates. Mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards are all sitting at multi-year highs. A car loan that would have cost you 4% in 2021 now costs 9%. That changes the math on every single purchase decision and turns variable rate debt from an annoyance into a wealth killer. Third, AI and the labor market. Job security looks different than it did even 2 years ago. Some roles are growing fast, some are quietly shrinking, and the half-life of a specific skill keeps getting shorter. That means your emergency fund, your side income, and your investment portfolio all have a bigger job to do. So what does this actually mean for you? 3 things. 1, generic budgeting advice is no longer enough. You need an actual system that gets retuned every quarter, not once a year. 2, high interest debt has to be treated like an emergency, not like furniture. At today's rates, carrying a credit card balance is the financial equivalent of bleeding out slowly. 3, your investing plan needs to be boring, automatic, and tax aware. Stock picking is not a strategy. Consistency is. The good news is none of this requires you to be a finance professional. It requires structure. That is literally what the WBG blueprint is, a structure that adapts the timeless principles to the actual conditions of 2026. In the next video, I'll show you the entire course at a glance. 8 weeks, 20 lessons, exactly what fits in 2 to 3 hours a week. But before you scroll, I want to know, What is the one money thing that is stressing you out the most heading into this year? Inflation, debt, income, savings, investing? Drop it in the comments. I read every reply, and the topics that come up most are the ones I'll deep dive in future videos. Type it below, and I'll see you in part 3. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the entire Financial Mastery Course 2026 edition, the structure, the time commitment, the format, and the deliverables. By the end, you will know exactly what you would be saying yes to. Let's start with the shape of the program. It is 8 focused weeks, 20 lessons total, about 2 to 3 hours per week of content and exercises. That is intentionally small. Most people do not fail at money because they don't know enough. They fail because the system they are using is too big to keep up with. 20 lessons is the minimum effective dose to get from confused to in control. Now, the format, it is 100% online, self-paced inside the 8-week structure, so you can stack 2 lessons on a quiet Sunday and skip a busy Tuesday. Mobile friendly, so you can do a lesson on a lunch break. Lifetime access to the 2026 edition and every future update. And there is a real certificate of completion at the end. This matters more than people think, because the certificate gives you something concrete to point at when you finished, which dramatically increases the chance you actually finish. Next, the deliverables. By week 8, you walk away with 5 concrete artifacts. 1, a written net worth baseline. 2, a chosen budgeting method that you have actually run for 30 days. 3, a personalized debt payoff plan with a real payoff date. 4, an automated savings and investing setup. And 5, a one-page personal financial plan you can show your partner, your accountant, or your future self. 5 tangible artifacts, not just notes. Now the bonuses. Over $500 in tools come included. 8 professional templates, 3 calculators for budget, debt, and investing, and a curated resource library so you stop wasting time Googling. The total time investment is 16 to 24 hours of your life over 8 weeks. For perspective, the average American spends 7 hours a day on their phone. We are asking for less than one of those hours per day, 3 days a week for 8 weeks, in exchange for a working financial system you keep for life. Here's the honest filter. This is built for people who actually want to do the work. If you are looking for a magic shortcut, this won't be your thing, and that is fine. If you are willing to trade 2 to 3 hours a week for an actual outcome, you are exactly the right fit. Quick poll. Could you realistically carve out 2 to 3 hours a week for the next 8 weeks if you knew the deliverables on the other side were $1,000+ saved, a debt-free date on the calendar, and a written plan? Yes or no in the comments. Be honest with yourself. In part 4, I'll break down the 4 kinds of people this is built for so you can see exactly where you fit in. See you there. There are 4 kinds of people the 2026 blueprint is specifically built for. By the end of this video, you'll know which one you are and what your first move should be. Profile number 1, the absolute beginner. You're starting from zero. Maybe you never learned this stuff at home. Maybe school skipped it. Maybe you're just out of college. You don't have a budget. You don't know your net worth, and the word investing makes you tense. The blueprint meets you exactly where you are. Weeks 1 and 2 are designed to take you from zero structure to a clear baseline without making you feel stupid. Profile number 2, paycheck to paycheck. You make decent money, but it disappears every month. You're not in crisis, but you're not building anything either. The blueprint's middle weeks, 3 through 5, are essentially built for you. Cash flow audit, 3 budgeting methods to test, automated systems so the discipline doesn't depend on willpower, and a clear emergency fund target. Profile number 3, fighting high interest debt, credit cards, car notes, maybe a personal loan or 2. The interest is eating your raises. Week 4 is the strategic core for you. Avalanche versus snowball, debt consolidation if it makes sense, negotiation scripts for lower APRs, and a written payoff date. The relief from finally seeing the date on a calendar is genuinely life-changing. Profile number 4, building serious wealth. You've got the basics handled. You want to optimize. Tax efficiency, asset allocation, retirement account choreography, real estate, side income. You want the next level. Weeks 6 and 7 are tuned for you, and the bonuses include the more advanced templates. Notice something. The blueprint is the same for all 4 profiles. Same 6-step framework, same 8-week structure, same 90-day roadmap. What changes is which weeks demand the most of you. A beginner spends more energy on the early weeks. A high earner spends more energy on the later weeks. Everyone touches every step because skipping steps is exactly why most plans fall apart. Now, here's the honest part. There are also 2 profiles this is not for. It is not for someone in active financial crisis, bankruptcy, foreclosure, eviction. That requires a one-on-one professional, not a self-paced course. And it is not for someone looking for stock tips or get rich quick. We don't do that here. If you are in either of those buckets, save your money and your time. Question for you. Which of the four profiles are you? One, beginner. Two, paycheck to paycheck. Three, debt fight. Four, wealth builder. Drop your number in the comments. I'll be reading them and replying with a starting move tailored to your profile. In the next video, I'll go inside the actual course and show you exactly what's behind the curtain. Every module, every tool, every template. See you in part 5. The biggest difference between a course you finish and one you don't is whether it forces you to actually do the work. So in this video, I want to take you inside the 2026 blueprint and show you exactly what is in there, both on the learn side and on the do side. The course is split deliberately into two halves, the learn half, the do half. Most online courses are 100% learn, videos, PDFs, and a vague hope that you'll go apply it. That model is broken, so we built the opposite. The learn half contains the 6-step wealth framework, real-world worked examples for each step, and an FAQ library that answers the questions our students keep asking. Every concept is tied to a number you'll actually use later. No filler theory. The do half contains 4 categories of tools. First, a budget calculator. 3 methods built in: zero-based, 50, 30, 20, and pay yourself first. You pick the method that fits your life, and the calculator structures your numbers around it. Second, a debt calculator. You drop in every balance, every APR, every minimum payment, and it shows you the avalanche payoff date and the snowball payoff date so you can choose with eyes open. Third, an investment calculator. Compound growth, contribution scenarios, and tax-advantaged versus taxable trade-offs. Fourth, 8 professional templates: net worth tracker, monthly cash flow log, sinking funds planner, debt thermometer, savings goal tracker, investment allocation worksheet, insurance audit checklist, and the one-page personal financial plan. Every one of those templates is something we have used with real clients. Then there's the cadence. Every lesson ends with a tool, a number to calculate, or an action to take. So at the end of every week, you have a finished artifact, not a folder of notes. By week 8, you have 8 artifacts that fit together into a working system. 2 more things you should know are inside: a 90-day action roadmap that turns one day into a calendar, and the resource library, vetted articles, books, and a short list of services we trust. Curation is a feature, not a bug. We deliberately do not give you 100 resources because that's how people get paralyzed. Here's the design principle behind everything in the course. Make every lesson produce a finished thing. Notes are not finished things. A filled out budget is. A debt payoff date on the calendar is. A signed beneficiary form is. The thing in your hand is what changes your life, not the video that taught you about it. Quick question for you. What is the one money tool you wish you had right now? Comment B if it's the budget calculator. Comment D if it's the debt calculator. Comment I if it's the investment calculator. Whichever letter wins the most votes, I'll do a longer breakdown video on that specific tool. Type your letter below and I'll see you in part 6, where we get into the 4 outcomes you should expect by day 90. Most courses promise vague things: clarity, confidence, transformation. None of those are measurable. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 4 very specific, very measurable outcomes you should expect to hit by day 90 using the 2026 blueprint. If you finish the 8 weeks and complete the 90-day roadmap, here is what your life should look like. Outcome number 1, you will have saved between $1,000 and $2,000, not from a raise, not from a side hustle, just from optimizing the cash flow you already have. Most people are leaking $300 to $700 a month somewhere. Duplicate subscriptions, forgotten auto pays, unconscious takeout, fees, insurance you've never reshopped. The cash flow audit in week 2 surfaces it. The new budget in week 3 captures it. By day 90, the redirected money is sitting in a separate savings account where you can see it. Outcome number 2, you will have personally test-driven 3 different budgeting methods and chosen the one that fits your life. Not the one a stranger on the internet swears by, the one your actual brain and your actual schedule will keep up with. This matters because the right budget method for a salaried W-2 employee is different from the right method for a freelancer, and different again for a couple with one variable income. Picking the wrong method is why most people give up on budgeting in the first 6 weeks. Outcome number 3, you will have written a personalized financial plan. 1 page, yours. Names, dates, numbers, account types, beneficiaries, target net worth. The reason this is so powerful is that almost no one has one. According to the most recent industry data, fewer than 1 in 3 Americans has a written financial plan. The act of writing it down is what turns a wish into a project. Outcome number 4, you will have built an emergency fund of at least 1 month of essential expenses, and you will have started investing, even if it is $50 a month into a tax-advantaged account. Starting matters more than the amount. The emergency fund stops the cycle of falling back into debt every time life happens. The investing habit, once it's running on autopay, will compound for the next 30 years without you thinking about it. Notice what is not on this list. I am not promising you'll be a millionaire in 90 days. I am not promising debt free. Those are real goals, but they take longer than 90 days for most people. What I am promising is that the foundation will be installed and the trajectory of your money will be measurably different from where it was on day one. Here's the question I want to leave you with. Be honest with yourself. What would saving an extra $2,000 in the next 90 days actually unlock for your life? A trip you've been putting off, killing one credit card, just sleeping better at night? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. In part 7, we get into the actual 6-step framework. See you there. Everything in the WBG blueprint sits on top of one 6-step framework. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the first 3 steps so you can see the full architecture and identify which step you are actually on right now. Because here's the thing, most people skip steps and then wonder why nothing sticks. Step 1, clarify. You start by establishing your starting point. 3 numbers, your net worth, your monthly cash flow, your top 3 goals with dates attached. If you don't have those 3 numbers written down somewhere, you are flying blind. Step 1 is one evening's worth of work, but it is the most skipped step in personal finance. Step 2, stabilize. This is about stopping the bleed. You audit recurring expenses, cancel what you don't use, renegotiate what you do use, and pause new financial commitments. Stabilization is not glamorous, but you cannot build wealth on top of an unstable base. The average person finds $200 to $400 a month in this step alone. Step 3, budget. Now you build the actual system. You pick one of 3 budgeting methods, zero-based, 50-30-20, or pay yourself first, and you automate it. The whole point of automation is to remove willpower from the equation. Willpower is a finite resource. Systems are not. Quick question. Which of these first 3 steps are you currently on? 1, 2, or 3? Drop your number in the comments. In the next video, I'll show you steps 4, 5, and 6. See you there. In the last video, we covered steps 1 through 3, clarify, stabilize, budget. Now let's go to the second half of the WBG framework, the steps where wealth actually gets built. Step 4, eliminate debt. With the system running, you attack high-interest debt strategically. Avalanche if you want the math optimum, snowball if you need the psychological wins. Either is fine. The wrong move is paying minimums on 6 cards forever. This step also includes negotiating APRs, consolidating where it makes sense, and protecting yourself from reaccumulation. Step 5, build wealth. Now, and only now, do you focus on offense. You fully fund your emergency reserve. You start investing on autopay. You optimize your tax-advantaged accounts in the right order. Typically, employer match, then high deductible health savings if you qualify, then Roth, then brokerage. The order matters more than people realize. Step 6, protect and grow. The final step is the one most people forget exists. Insurance audits, life, disability, umbrella, estate basics, beneficiaries, will, healthcare proxy, tax efficiency, asset location, harvesting, charitable strategies. This step is what turns a person with money into a household with a system that survives the unexpected. Here's the most important rule about the framework. The steps are sequential for a reason. If you try to invest in step 5 without doing step 2, you will leak the gains right back out. If you skip step 3, you will redo step 4 every 2 years. The order is the strategy. Which step are you actually on right now? 1 through 6? Drop your number below and I'll see you in part 8. Now that you know the 6-step framework, this is the video where I show you exactly when each step happens. 8 weeks, 8 tangible wins. Here are the first 4 weeks. Week 1, money mindset and baseline. You'll do the foundational mindset work that determines whether the next 7 weeks actually stick, and you'll calculate your starting net worth. The artifact at the end of week 1 is one number on a sheet of paper, your true net worth. That number becomes your scoreboard. Week 2, cash flow clarity. This is the audit week. Every recurring charge, every subscription, every auto pay. You categorize, you cancel, you renegotiate. By the end of the week, you know exactly where your money is going, and you've usually freed up $200 to $400 a month. Week 3, budgeting methods. You learn the 3 primary methods, you test each one for a few days, and you commit to the one that fits your life. The output of week 3 is a budget that runs on auto pay, not on willpower. Week 4, debt strategy. You list every debt with balance, APR, and minimum. You pick avalanche or snowball, you pick a payoff date, and you put it on the calendar. For most students, week 4 is the most emotional week. Seeing a real payoff date is genuinely transformational. Quick poll, which of these 4 weeks sounds like the one you specifically need the most? Drop 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments. In the next video, I'll cover weeks 5 through 8. See you there. In the last video, I walked you through the first 4 weeks of the WBG curriculum. Now let's finish the map with weeks 5 through 8, the weeks where the system really locks in. Week 5, emergency fund. You define your target, typically 1 to 3 months of essential expenses, and you build the structure to fund it on autopay. You also learn what counts as a true emergency and what doesn't, which prevents the fund from leaking. Week 6, investing fundamentals. You learn the only handful of concepts you actually need: index funds, asset allocation, tax-advantaged accounts, dollar cost averaging. You set up your first or your next contribution. You ignore everything else online. Week 7, tax and account selection. You learn the order of operations: match, HSA, Roth, brokerage. You confirm your beneficiaries. You learn the basic tax loss harvesting and asset location concepts that quietly compound to massive numbers over decades. Week 8, personal financial plan. This is the integration week. You take everything from the previous 7 weeks and you compress it onto a single page: your personal financial plan. Names, dates, numbers, accounts, beneficiaries. You print it, you share it with the people who need to know. You schedule the next quarterly review. Notice the architecture. Each week has a single deliverable. Each deliverable feeds into the next week's work. By the time you reach week 8, the personal financial plan basically writes itself. Which week is the one you most need? 5, 6, 7, or 8? Comment below. In part 9, I'll layer the 90-day action roadmap on top. See you there. Most people set a money goal in January and forget it by February. The reason is not laziness. The reason is that the goal had no roadmap behind it. So in this video, I want to give you phase 1 of the 90-day action roadmap that comes with the WBG blueprint, the foundation phase. Phase 1, days 1 through 30, foundation. The mission of phase 1 is to install the baseline system. Here's what you actually do. Week 1 of the phase, calculate net worth, set your top 3 goals, complete the cash flow audit. Week 2, choose and start a budgeting method. Week 3, automate every transfer that should be automatic. Pay yourself first into savings on payday. Auto pay every fixed bill. Week 4, open or refresh the right accounts. A high yield savings account, the right checking structure, a retirement account if you don't already have one. By the end of phase 1, you've done 2 things. You've stopped the bleed and you've installed the structure. The wins are small, but they're permanent. 3 rules that make this phase actually work. 1, block the time on your calendar. 2, track one number weekly, which in phase 1 is your net worth. 3, tell one person what you're doing. Accountability triples follow through. Question for you: if you started tomorrow, where would you predict you'd be on day 30? Drop your prediction in the comments. Be specific. In the next video, I'll cover phase 2, momentum. See you there. In the last video, I walked you through phase 1, foundation. Now let's finish the roadmap with phase 2 and phase 3, where the system really starts to produce results. Phase 2, days 31 through 60, momentum. The mission of phase 2 is execution. 2 big projects. Project 1, debt strategy. Take the avalanche or snowball plan from week 4 of the course and start hammering one debt. Negotiate APRs while you're at it. Project 2, start investing, even small. Open the right tax-advantaged account, set up a monthly auto contribution, choose a simple low-cost index strategy. Phase 2 is where most people quit because the wins feel slow. Don't quit. Phase 2 is where compounding actually starts. Phase 3, days 61 through 90, mastery. The mission of phase 3 is to lock in the system so it survives without your daily attention. 3 things. 1, finalize a written 12-month financial plan. Where will you be on day 365? 2, schedule quarterly reviews on your calendar, 1 hour every quarter to look at the numbers and adjust. 3, handle the protect and grow basics, beneficiaries, insurance audit, estate basics. By the end of day 90, the system is fully installed. It's now running quietly in the background of your life. You've moved from doing money to having a money system. The goal is not perfection, the goal is finishing. Which phase sounds hardest to you? Foundation, momentum, or mastery? Comment below. In part 10, I compressed the entire 2026 plan onto a single page. See you there. In this video, I want to compress the first half of your 2026 financial year onto a single page. 2 quarters, 2 moves, 1 foundation. This is the version you can screenshot and stick on your fridge. Quarter 1, January through March, install. The mission is to install the system, run the 8-week course, complete the foundation phase of the 90-day roadmap, calculate your net worth, audit your cash flow, pick your budgeting method, automate everything that should be automatic. The headline target for quarter 1 is to save your first $1,000 by the end of March. That number is symbolic and practical. It proves the system works and it gives you a buffer to start phase 2. Quarter 2, April through June, eliminate. The mission of quarter 2 is to crush high interest debt and build the first emergency fund tier. Aggressively attack one debt at a time using avalanche or snowball. Negotiate APRs again. By the end of June, your target is to have at least 1 month of essential expenses saved as an emergency fund and to have made measurable, documented progress on the highest interest debt, typically credit cards. 2 execution rules for the first half. Finish Q1 before starting Q2. Sequential, not parallel. Review on the first weekend of every quarter, 60 minutes, non-negotiable. Question for you. Which quarter is going to be harder for you, 1 or 2? Comment below, and I'll see you in the next video where we cover Q3 and Q4. In the last video, I covered Q1 and Q2 of the 2026 blueprint, install and eliminate. Now let's finish the year with Q3 and Q4, where you go from defense to offense and then lock it all in. Quarter 3, July through September, build. With the foundation installed and the bleeding stopped, you go on offense, set up or increase your retirement contributions, take the employer match, open a Roth or HSA if you qualify, start a low-cost automated investing routine into a diversified index portfolio. By the end of September, your target is consistent monthly contributions to at least one tax-advantaged account and a written investment policy you can defend on a bad day. Quarter 4, October through December, protect and plan. The final quarter is about protecting what you've built and writing the next year. Audit insurance, life, disability, umbrella, auto, home. Update beneficiaries on every account. Confirm or set up basic estate documents. Then do the most important hour of the year. Write your 2027 plan based on the data you collected this year, the headline result for the year. By December 31st, you will have an emergency fund, a measurable debt reduction, an automated investment routine, an insurance and estate baseline, and a written plan for the following year. That is what getting your financial house in order actually looks like as a sequence. The blueprint is conservative on purpose. Realistic targets build momentum. Which quarter feels hardest personally, Q3 or Q4? Comment below. See you in part 11. When you finish the 2026 edition of the WBG Financial Mastery course, you don't walk away with a feeling. You walk away with a working toolkit. In this video, I'm going to break down the templates and calculators included, over $500 in bonuses. Let me start with the bonus library. 8 professional templates that I and our team have used with real clients. Template 1, the net worth tracker. Update it once a quarter, watch the line move. Template 2, the monthly cash flow log. Template 3, the sinking funds planner. The reason most budgets break in month 4 is irregular expenses. The sinking funds planner solves that. Template 4, the debt thermometer. A visual payoff tracker that turns the abstract pain of debt into a fillable bar you watch shrink. Template 5, the savings goal tracker. Each goal gets its own line, its own monthly contribution, its own date. Template 6, the investment allocation worksheet. Template 7, the insurance audit checklist. 5 lines, 10 minutes, possibly thousands of dollars saved. And template 8, the 1-page personal financial plan, then the 3 calculators. The budget calculator with all 3 methods preloaded. The debt calculator that shows you avalanche versus snowball side by side. And the investment calculator that turns I should start investing into a real number with a real date. Which of these tools do you most want to get your hands on? Comment below. In the next video, I'll cover the certificate format and support layer. See you there. In the last video, I covered the templates and calculators. Now let's talk about the rest of what you actually walk away with: the format, the certificate, and the community layer. First, the format. 100% online, self-paced inside the 8-week structure, mobile friendly so you can do a lesson on your lunch break, and lifetime access so when the 2027 edition comes out, you get it included at no extra cost. Now the certificate. At the end of week 8, After you submit your one-page plan, you receive a real certificate of completion from Ward Business Group. Two reasons that matters more than people think. One, for many corporate environments, it counts toward HR development plans, professional development credits, or learning stipends. Worth checking with your employer. Many people have had the entire course reimbursed because of the certificate. Two, even outside of work, a finishable recognized credential dramatically increases the percentage of people who actually complete the course. We've measured it. Students who say at week 0 that the certificate matters to them are nearly twice as likely to make it to week 8. Finally, the support layer. There's an active community where you can ask questions and learn from other students who are exactly 1 or 2 weeks ahead of or behind you. That peer level help turns out to be one of the most valuable parts of the program. Quick question. Is a certificate of completion actually a motivator for you personally? Yes or no in the comments. Be honest. In part 12, the final video, I'll give you your 3 exact next steps. See you there. This is part 12, the final video in the series. In this first half, I want to give you the 3 exact steps to actually start because the best time to install your financial system was last year. The second best time is this week, not Monday, not next month, this week. Here are your 3 next steps in order. Step 1, enroll in the 2026 edition of the Financial Mastery course. The link is in the bio of this account. The 2026 cohort is structured around the 8 weeks I've described in this series, so you can start immediately. Step 2, block 2 to 3 hours every week on your calendar for the next 8 weeks. Treat that block like a standing meeting with your future self. Use the same time slot every week. The reason this matters more than the content of the course is that consistency beats intensity every single time. 2 hours a week for 8 weeks beats 15 hours in one panicked weekend. Step 3, commit publicly to the 90-day roadmap. Tell one person, a partner, a friend, a sibling, or comment in below this video. Public commitment is the single highest leverage move you can make for actually finishing. 3 steps, enroll, block the time, commit publicly. If you only did those 3 things this week, your 2026 would already be structurally different from your 2025. Comment the step you're on right now, 1, 2, or 3. In the final video, I'll give you the speech I'd give a friend at the kitchen table. See you there. In the last video, I gave you the 3 concrete steps. In this final clip, I want to give you the speech I would give a friend who was sitting across from me at the kitchen table. If a friend told me they were stressed about money, I would not give them a stock tip. I would not give them a budgeting hack. I would tell them what I'm telling you. The reason your finances feel chaotic is not because you are bad with money. It's because you do not yet have a system. Once the system is installed, the chaos goes away. Not because life gets easier, but because the system absorbs the noise. Building wealth is not a personality trait. It is a process. The process is repeatable. The process is teachable. And the process is exactly what these 12 videos and the full course exist to give you. Most of the people who watch the first 11 videos will not take the next step. They'll think about it. They'll save it for later. And 6 months from now, they will be in the exact same place they were today, watching another finance video, hoping the next one will be the one. Don't do that. Be the small percentage that actually moves. 60 seconds. Click the link in bio. Block your 8 weeks. Comment in to lock it in. Build wealth. Build freedom. Build it on a system that actually works. If you've watched this far, you are already in the small percentage who finishes. Trust that signal. I'll see you inside the course.